Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. So glad you could join us. So it's been a while since I've done a video with a narration, hasn't it? Part of Jingle's contest, I got introduced to Windows Movie Maker and I got a little carried away doing music videos and stuff. Not that that's going to stop me doing more, but I did realize I needed to do some narration videos as well. Half the point of this channel is to help you guys get a little bit better at the game, and to teach you stuff that you may not know, or show you ships that you haven't tried out yet, or that you're afraid to purchase in the game. So today we are taking out the Tier 6 German cruiser, the Nurnberg. Now, I had never had this. The clip at the very beginning of this video was actually the very first game that I played. It was actually a pretty good game, but I liked this one a little bit better. And this was my second game with the Nurnberg. So this is running stock. I don't have the upgraded hull or upgraded range or anything like that. I think my captain is at a 9 point, so I'm not even, really high on the captain traits either. After playing a good part of the day, playing this ship over and over, I think I got about 12, 13 rounds in on it. I have to say that my overall opinion of this ship has drastically changed. Going into this, my only observation of this ship was when other people were playing it, and specifically me killing them. As mainly a battleship player, Nurnbergs are really, really tempting targets because I know exactly how squishy they are, and I would always make it a point to try and aim for them. And to be frank, I think the vast majority of players out there are really utilizing this ship very incorrectly, because after the first 2 games alone, I was deeply, deeply impressed by how good this ship is. So let's talk about the ship specifically. It's fairly maneuverable, it's fairly fast, the guns on it are different, and by that I mean the AP is pretty weak. Or the HE is pretty weak. Very low chance to catch on fire. So you're not going to do the whole HE spam boat thing. It's not very effective, not like the Russian or the Japanese. The AP, however, is phenomenal. It does very, very good damage. The guns are very fast firing, very high velocity, and the high velocity, what that gets you is very flat shells. They travel through the air quickly. They don't arc way, way, way up. The downside of that is you have a hard time shooting over islands. The plus side of that, and you'll see this very shortly here, and I'm tracking them already, is that it makes it very easy to kill destroyers. Now, I popped hydroacoustic because I had been told over and over that the hydroacoustic on the German ships is phenomenal, and I have to say it really is. It lasts a long, long time and has a really great range. I saw those torpedoes coming in, cut my engines, and was able to avoid an early death by torpedo. That alone would have just ended my game. Instead, now I'm in it, and we're just tearing this guy up. I'm about to post another video of the Furutaka, the Japanese Tier 5 cruiser, and you'll see the difference on how easy it was for me to take out that destroyer compared to a couple that I ran into on my Furutaka, where I really, really struggled with the slow firing guns. Here's another enemy Nurnberg. I've switched to AP. He's giving me a bit of broadside, but you can tell that it's consistently really strong damage with this AP. And he's down. So that's already 2 enemies down, and we've secured this flank. Now, the AA is not much to really speak of. I have to say that if a carrier really got it into his mind that he wanted to end me, I think he probably could with very little resistance from me. Now, I was looking at the modules, and it looks like the Nurnberg has 2 different upgrades. One of which takes a couple of your torpedo launchers from your sides off and adds more AA to the point where you get at least a little bit respectable. And you do have the option to drop hydroacoustic and put defensive AA, but I don't think that's worth it. The hydroacoustic on these German cruisers is so nice compared to all the other nations. It kind of almost obligates you to leave it on and actually utilize it. So what I'm doing here is I see that Fuso on the other side of this island, and I really, really don't want to expose myself to his fire. I've been playing Fuso a lot recently, and I know exactly what that guy can do to my very thinly armored Nurnberg. So I'm kind of debating here. My friendly destroyer that we've been kind of working in tandem this game, he's going through. You can see that there's a Cleveland right around that corner. I'm not really sure that my destroyer buddy here is really kind of aware of how dangerous this is. But I think the Fuso has moved far enough ahead that I can poke out, get shots off on the Cleveland, and not expose myself to the Fuso's fire. I think the island will block him. He's gone too far off to the side. So I straighten myself out, kick it into full, make sure that I have AP loaded. And I'm waiting to see how he's angled as I come around this corner. Yeah, he's very highly angled. So I go ahead and clear my barrels and switch over to HE because, again, this is only my second game, so I'm trying to see what works and what doesn't. And I fire off and realize instantly that the HE just is not very powerful. Thankfully, he was so low life that it did not matter. Here's another cruiser. I'm going to switch back to AP. I've got him full broadside, and I do have 2 guns in the back, and there's a nice big shot. That AP is so ridiculously powerful. And that's 2 kills in a row there where I should have gotten the kill. And the team just finished them off. And I even, and I was laughing about it, but in chat I'm like, stop stealing my kills. It is kind of frustrating, but, yeah, well. But after those engagements there, and I'm trying to get the heck out of there, because this battleship is looking right at me and this other cruiser, and I'd kind of like him to shoot at the other cruiser. Again, I'm trying HE. I'm trying to set him on fire, and dispersion is not really helping me a whole lot here. The guns are pretty accurate. I'm just having some bad luck, and I'm hitting them, but it's just barely scratching this guy. I'm not really sure what you could do different in this situation other than try to charge him. I imagine that later on, once I have my captain leveled up a little bit better and I can put Demolition Expert on there, the fire chance might be high enough that this would actually work. But as it stands right now, I mean, the HE just does not do any kind of damage. So I do switch over to AP, and instantly, like, yeah, that one salvo that I got in, like, that was respectable damage. I had to wait for him to turn broadside at me, but I mean, it was doing all right. So I think next time that we get in that situation, I'll try just doing AP and firing at the superstructure. Which is anything above the deck of the ship, the main deck. So all the towers, the conning towers, the guns, like the gun turrets themselves, things like that, that's what the superstructure is. And you can hit that with smaller caliber, like what you get on cruisers, AP rounds, and still do respectable damage. So I'll try that next time, I think. But the battleship is dead, and the Fuso, the one I was avoiding earlier, is completely behind that island, and we are down on caps. Now, the game hasn't run away from us yet, but if we don't cap soon, we're going to be in an uphill battle. Now, I don't know, I know there are enemies off to the west side, over there somewhere. See, there's one, but I don't know where the rest are, and that kind of makes me nervous. I know there's a destroyer somewhere and a cruiser both on the west side of the map. But either way, we need to cap. So I load my AP up again. Check our side. Always keep situational awareness. You know, keep in mind where, you know, what's going on around you. And yeah, he's way out of range. However, Oh, just looking for something to shoot, basically. Did get the cap, though. Well, or about to. Okay, so there's both enemies there, so yeah, that should be everyone then. But there's still a CV floating around somewhere. Take some shots off at him, see if we maybe tag him. Overall, I'm deeply impressed by this ship, though. The only real drawback that it has is the armor is very paper thin. Oh, there's the enemy carrier. Let's see if we can catch him on fire real quick. Yeah, alright. No fire, but got a little bit of damage on him. Either knocked out his propulsion or his steering, one of the two, I'm not sure. Alright, so we're coming up to this cruiser here. Omaha. Fire off AP. He's giving me a little bit of an angle. And I miss, but you know, it was close. So he does see me now and instantly turns. So he's turning to engage me. And he turns head on and starts spamming HE. Because this is just so skilled. But I stick with AP this time. I want to see how well this works. And it's actually doing pretty good. I think I need to work on my aim a little bit. I'm not quite used to these guns. But, no, yeah, that's doing respectable damage. Bam. Ooh, man. And, of course, his final shot caught me back on fire right after I put out the other two fires, so I'm gonna burn for the full duration. But, you know, and then it may seem really, really bad, but at the same time, like, I would rather burn for the full duration on one fire than on two fires, especially when we were in the middle of a gunfight and I wasn't quite sure if I was going to be able to walk out of that alive. So now we know that there's a destroyer up ahead. I do pop my hydroacoustic because he's hiding in his smoke somewhere. And he's very aware of where I'm at. I am spotted by planes. He's just tracking me, and I want to zig a little bit out. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, he's trying to stay behind the sound, so I'm hoping, yeah, that works. So I'm banking my shots around the corner, basically, and I'm hoping I can knock out his engine, catch him on fire, basically do anything, because he's making a beeline, away from me, and there goes his torpedoes, and you see how far out I saw those because of the hydroacoustic. That's what I was saying, it's just such a great ability. But he's keeping the island in between us, and he's going for our battleship. And I'm trying very, very hard to get around this corner. The other enemy cruiser is shooting at me. Avoid that, and now I've got this destroyer dead to rights. He's trying to maneuver, but the nice thing is the reload speed is so fast on these guns that I really can just open up on him. And there's really not a whole lot he could do. And it's a fairly fast cruiser too, so he's dead. He may not realize it yet, but he's dead. There he goes. Switch over to AP to finish off this cruiser, and I think actually the battleship ends up getting the killing blow. But overall, I really like this ship. I'm looking forward to making more videos of it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you guys next time. Take care, all.